Victoria Neuman's death towards the climax of The Boys Season 4 not only shook up the entire series but also killed the importance of one long-running theory. After a slightly shaky start, The Boys Season 4 ended with a bang, as the finale was full of huge moments, with the biggest undoubtedly being Victoria Neuman's demise. Although she wasn't the show's main antagonist, Neuman was one of the most powerful supes in the entire franchise, and her reluctant alliance with the boys seemed to offer some hope in the fight against Homelander heading into Season 5. However, this only made her final moments all the more surprising, as Butcher killed her without hesitation after unlocking the full potential of his powers. Neuman's murder was easily The Boys Season 4's most shocking death and arguably the biggest in the series so far, and while it will have some massive ramifications going forward, it also affects a long-running theory. Many viewers believe that Victoria may be related to Cindy, one of Homelander's new recruits, but despite 2 seasons worth of speculation, the concept no longer matters now that Neuman is gone. Victoria Neuman and Cindy are related, the boys' theory explained. Neuman and Cindy's similar powers indicated there could be some relation. Both Victoria and Cindy were introduced in Season 2, and despite their very different positions in life, some fans predicted the two might be related due to their similar powers. As the show progressed, we learned that their abilities work in slightly different ways, with Victoria having the power to control and manipulate blood, whereas Cindy possesses traits of telekinesis. Still, these variations don't completely rule out a potential connection, as they are each capable of killing people instantly with their superpowers, which prompted viewers to believe Cindy was behind Season 2's assassinations before Victoria was revealed as the culprit. While we now know that Neuman has a daughter and was adopted by Stan Edgar, it remains a possibility that she's related to Cindy. Cindy's return in The Boys Season 4 sets her up for a big role in the final installment, but her backstory remains a mystery other than the fact she was a patient at the Sage Grove Center. Therefore, Season 5 could still confirm that the two are long-lost sisters or have an alternative connection, but with Neuman no longer around, the theory becomes far less important, even if it is revealed to be true. Neuman's death means it doesn't really matter if she's related to Cindy now. Cindy and Neuman's potential connection won't have any real impact on the plot. Victoria Neuman, Claudia Daumit, side by side with Cindy S. Hodelmoser, in The Boys. Sadly, with Neuman no longer part of The Boys, her relationship with Cindy doesn't feel overly important. Regardless of whether they're related or complete strangers, it's hard to make their dynamic have a big payoff after Victoria was killed. Her death will still play a role in Season 5's story, but given there hasn't been any sort of on-screen interaction between Neuman and Cindy, it would feel strange if a possible connection fueled the latter going forward. Had Neuman survived, the rumored connection could have impacted Cindy's morals and made her second-guess getting involved with Homelander's revolution. However, the relationship doesn't matter anymore as Cindy rarely shows emotions, meaning even if Victoria was her sister, the lack of history between them would make the death feel insignificant. Given they are both among the boys' strongest characters, having the two find out they are siblings could have led to a team-up, which would have been catastrophic for those who opposed them. Instead, Victoria's death cements this long-running theory as a what-if scenario, and the show would be better off focusing on a more unique motivation for Cindy when she returns in Season 5. How Neuman's death will affect The Boys Season 5. The boys have one less ally, while Homelander has even fewer restrictions after Neuman's death. Although Neuman's death may not impact Cindy's story in Season 5, it will still be an instrumental factor in the final 8 episodes of The Boys. Firstly, the protagonists will have one less ally to help bail them out after being captured by Homelander. Despite Victoria being an antagonist for most of the show, she never had a huge grudge against the boys, and Huey even worked with her before learning she was a supe. Her motivations may have been selfish at times, but she seemed to put her bad history with the boys aside in Season 4. Unfortunately, her death means it'll be down to Starlight, Butcher, and Gen V's characters to save the main group and fight against Homelander. Additionally, Victoria's death means Homelander has the potential to become even more unhinged, as there is no one to really stop his wildest inhibitions. Most of his circle enable his horrific behavior and refuse to stand up to him, whereas Victoria at least had enough power and influence to somewhat deter the villain. Therefore, without her, Homelander may be the worst we've ever seen him in the final season. Finally, Victoria's brutal departure from the show could make her daughter Zoe more important. Although she finished Season 4 heading to the Red River Institute, Victoria's daughter may be back to try and get revenge on Butcher. While Zoe isn't the strongest character in the franchise, watching her mother die in front of her could light a fire under her that makes the soup's role in the boys' final season incredibly important, showing how impactful Victoria's death will be to Season 5's plot.